Hey guys, Hector Castillo, Poppy from girlschase.com. Today I want to talk about how to overcome your insecurities. I had a client slash fan on Instagram ask me about this topic specifically and wanted me to do a video over it. And for those of you who are having specific problems in your life, obviously if you sign up for private coaching, that's the best way to get one-on-one help from me. But I'm always up for new ideas and for topics that maybe I haven't thought of, that maybe are dear to you and maybe they slip past my mind. And if you have any questions that are very specific and that you would like me to go over them, and I haven't gone over them already, but we do have like 300 videos. So there's a chance we might have covered it. But hey, take the shot, message me on Instagram, send me a DM. I can't answer everybody, that would be fucking insanity, but I try to respond to as many people as possible. Plus my Instagram is full of good content as well as this YouTube. They're kind of adjacent, sometimes they overlap, but there is some unique information on there. So, get me a follow if you like my work, and then send me a DM asking me questions, and there's a possible chance that I can do a video on your specific issue, like I am right now. Okay, so overcoming insecurities. I will share with you probably my biggest insecurity in the past half decade, and then I'll go over a general strategy for dealing with insecurities. So we kind of live in a self-help culture, and most of it is very counterproductive because most of it is about accepting rather than improving. And a lot of cases you're going to want to actually improve your situation to counterbalance your insecurities, because insecurity is basically it's mostly external, right? I don't either match up with someone else, right? So it's either competitive or about judgment. And so competitive is just you feeling inferior to another guy, whether it's about your height, your dick size, whatever, or it's about judgment, like what I'm doing will be judged either because I don't quite stack up to someone, or because what I do is strange, or this thing that I believe, or this thing that I have, this thing that I do, it's strange and will receive criticism because it's fringe, it's unpopular, it's controversial, maybe even it's illegal. And so those are the two reasons why you're going to have insecurities for the most part. Now, the one that I'm going to talk about is judgmental, because what I do right now as I'm speaking to you is quite controversial. For me, it seems strange that people would find it controversial, maybe because I've been in it so long and it's kind of just my reality, but I was always aware that to others it is controversial. And for a long time, I actually avoided telling people about this. When I was really early on in college, I started writing for Girls Chase, and people knew me as like the player, but they didn't know outright that I did this. And I did tell a few people, and some rumors started to swell, but it wasn't like for sure, no one knew exactly what it was. But I was afraid to tell people because I knew I would get judgment. The reason that it gets judgment is kind of silly. It doesn't really make a lot of sense because all guys are trying to have sex. I just happen to be more efficient and more self-aware of it. But I think a lot of men like to live in this self-denial that like, no, I'm not like gaming her. I'm just, showing interest in being natural, but there's really no such thing. And I'll make a video about that actually, because it's an interesting distinction. I'm not doing anything differently. I'm just doing it better. And I just happen to be upfront about it. But when you kind of make these things too obvious, people don't like that truth, because people don't like truth. Because it hurts, because it shatters our reality and even shatters my own reality. I'm not immune to that pain of, when something is very honestly presented to you and you're like, fuck, that kind of contradicts my reality, and you deal with some cognitive dissonance. But I understood that. I had the intuition. I'm like, okay, people are gonna find this weird. It's okay if you're the player, but as soon as you start talking about how you're doing it, it just kind of seems manipulative. It just seems manipulative, and I get it. So I avoided telling people about it. Then the years went on, I graduated college, and I still really wouldn't tell people about it. I'd tell people that, I do copywriting, which is technically true, or I'm a writer, which is also technically true. Then when I came to Romania, I decided to start doing YouTube. And I was afraid to put my face out there. Actually, none of you know this, but when I first started doing the videos, I had 2 or 3 videos where I wore a mask because I was afraid of showing my full face. Then I was like, okay, you're being a pussy, Hector. Let's just put your face out there. So YouTube was one thing. That was me kind of jumping into the public spotlight, and it's pretty hard to, I'd have to delete all my videos, but a lot of people know about it already. So, I'm kind of out there forever. And then I decided to go on Instagram a little bit later. And the decision to go on Instagram was it's a bit more of a personal environment. YouTube, I could probably hide myself, but Instagram, if I decided to like add my friends, you know, and everyone in my social circle, and I started straight up telling people this is what I do. I did it because I actually thought it would be a good sexual strategy. In a lot of ways it is. Girls will get turned on by the fact that, oh, this guy gets a lot of pussy. But it also ended up backfiring a lot, and has ruined a lot of my friendships. Even old friends, you know, they kind of like, they knew I did these things, but they didn't know so blatantly what I believed. And it just shook their reality a lot, and for a variety of reasons. And you know, most of them are just because they're a bunch of fucking pussies. But again, I still understand. Even though I'm critical of their judgments, I understand where they come from. And so this caused a lot of insecurity. Before I even went public with it, I was like, okay, I hope no one finds out this is what I do, you know, because they're gonna think it's weird. And I was right that they would think it's weird. And then when I did come out about it, I've had lots and lots of people like either privately message me or me hear from friends like, yeah, my friends think that's weird. They think it's, you know, creepy. They think it's, I kind of got past the creepy thing because I'm too successful for them to call me creepy. But now it's just you're a misogynist, you're a sexist, you know, you're a fuckboy, you're a piece of shit. And I'm pretty good at dealing with shit, but I'm still a human being. And it has caused a lot of pain. And I've lost a lot of potential relationships because of it. Definitely, I've added girls on Instagram and I'm like, hey, you know, nice to meet you. Like, oh my God, yeah, nice to meet you. Can't wait to like grab coffee with you, da-da. And then like, I message them a day later and I see that they blocked me, obviously, because, you know, they saw my Instagram. There's no other reason why. It just didn't match. And I've lost friends because of it. I've been friends with guys in groups, and then, you know, I start flirting with a girl he likes, or I actually get with a girl he likes, and then I notice his attitude towards me kind of dissipates, and he turns into someone who doesn't like me anymore. So it would either come in the form of judgment of me for what I do, for whatever reason they believe is bad about what I do, or it would be them seeing me as competition because of the fact that I am quite good with women, and so I present a threat to their sexual options. And at the end of the day, we kind of just are animals, and those primal feelings really dictate a lot of our emotions towards what we call civilization. But again, really, it's mostly just our primal instincts. And so I've really, really struggled with it. And we could go into the psychological details, but that's just me having a pity party. And no one's gonna cry for you. So you need to realize this. No one's gonna fucking cry for you. So you're just going to have to either improve and overcome the judgment, or beat your competition, whatever it is you're insecure about, or and accept. And so here's my strategy. I'll just put it really simply. I need to accept the fact that this is who I am. Now, if I presented my information in a different way, I would probably be more well received, but I'm just like this. I'm just super honest, I'm brutal, because that's how I think and that's how I express myself, and I'm not gonna change that. I've tried and I just feel weird when I do. And so I have to accept the fact that this is what I do for a living. And one day I'll stop doing it and I'll avoid a lot of this judgment. I'll move on to a different sphere of my life, and I do have that future in mind. But for now, I need to accept it, okay? And I have to know that I'm gonna get judgment. Now, I can market it correctly though, and I have taken steps to marketing myself a little bit better, and presenting my information so that it won't like immediately cause bad reactions, so I can avoid some judgment, but I'm not gonna avoid all of it. But the other way I'm gonna improve is once you get big enough with anything, people are just gonna accept it. Like, I could be a goddamn professional hitman, you know, and put videos of me like executing people, but if I had 1 million followers, they'd be like, oh, that was such a good shot. You know, like, you really stabbed that guy well. Now, I'm not saying that's actually what would happen, but my point is, like, you could be doing something very controversial, like if I was a porn star. But if I was a porn star with like 500,000 followers on Instagram and, you know, videos with every top porn star in the world, people are gonna like it because whatever's popular, people accept, even if it's horrible. And this has been shown through human history in many different ways, and it's going on right now. There's a lot of things that are very popular, but are really, really just terrible and cruel and shitty. But I'm not saying what I do is shitty, I'm just saying if you make something successful enough, people are just gonna accept it. So, you know, once this YouTube channel does blow up, once my Instagram does blow up enough, that value is gonna override the judgment that I get, and it's still gonna instill competition, but it's gonna be like, it's just too much for most people to handle, and they're just gonna have to submit to it or just run away from it. And so whatever insecurities you have, right? Whether they're physical, personality, Sexual, that's right. So whether it's because you're insecure about your acne, right? Either you have to accept it or fucking improve it. Improve your diet, improve, what kind of skincare routine you have, right? You're short, well, that's, mostly you're just gonna have to accept that unless you can get surgery or wear some shoes, but it's not really gonna help that much. You don't like how you dress, improve your fashion. You don't like your body type, go to the fucking gym, eat food. You have a small dick, which is kind of physical and sexual. Sorry, not much you can do about that. You're just gonna have to add things to yourself that are can compensate for that, because that's just how life fucking works. You got the genetic lottery, not that well. Personality, some of it you can change, but a lot of it you can't. Like, I'm just a very honest person, and the only way that I could improve it is by either shutting up when I probably shouldn't be super honest, or just improve the way that I market myself and the way that I express myself when I am being honest. I can do it in a way that's easier received, but still get the message across. And some of it you can improve. I have social anxiety. Okay, well, you need to get more comfortable socializing so that you no longer have that anxiety, because you have the skill set to deal with any social situation. And so it actually is quite simple, and this covers everything, right? Sexual stuff is like, I can't perform well, I'm coming quickly, I can't get it up. You need to take the steps to improve it. And so, like I said in the beginning of the video, we have a lot of self-acceptance in our culture right now, but a lot of it is not very helpful, because a lot of your insecurities you can work on and you can improve. Now, the ones that can't be improved, of course you have to accept those. But the ones that can be improved, your weight, your fashion, your ability to talk with girls, how much money you're making, whatever the fuck it is, you can work on that. So stop being a bitch and just get to fucking work. And I've dealt with that pain. Like it really hit me recently, actually. I've lost a lot of friends and I lost a lot of girls because of what I do. But I've also gotten a lot of friends and I've gotten a lot of girls because of what I do. And so be grateful, have some gratitude for where you are in life. You could always be somewhere worse, you could be dead. And even though sometimes you might wish you're dead because of your insecurities and it can cause a lot of pain, no one's gonna cry for you. That's just a simple fact. And you're just gonna have to deal with your situation and accept it and keep going and keep improving. And that's really it. There's no magic pill. You're gonna have to just improve and accept. So if you're dealing with an insecurity, whether it's physical, whether it's with your personality, or whether it's something sexual, nut up or shut up and just go fucking do something about it. And most of what you can do can be improved. And when you do improve yourself, you're not going to be devoid of insecurity. You're still gonna have that voice in the back of your head, but you're gonna have so many more positive voices because you've accomplished so much. If I have a string of rejections, I'm a human being, dude. I fuck up all the time, probably more than you do. And that's why I got to the place I am. I start to feel really bad. I'm like, fuck, this is what I do for a living. If someone knew how much I get rejected, would they think I know what I'm talking about? Am I really good with this? Do girls hate me all of a sudden? What is wrong with me? And then I just say, okay, there's something specifically going on that they're rejecting, and I need to figure that out, and I need to fix it and stop being a bitch. And so I continuously have those insecurities, whether it's about my ability to get girls, that I'm short, maybe I don't perform as well as I should have with a particular girl. I just fucking deal with it and accept it, and then try and improve it if I can. And that's it. It's that simple. So that's how you deal with insecurities. Cool. All right. Hector Castillo, Bobby from girlchase.com, giving you the brutal truths that you don't want to hear, but that you need to hear. And so if you have any insecurities you're dealing with, send me a message on Instagram and I'll give you the truth. But hopefully we'll give you the tools to improve your insecurities, because they're never going to fully go away, but you can overshine the negativity with positivity through positive experiences and hard work. Okay, cool. Hector Castillo, Bobby, girlchase.com. Like, subscribe, ring the bell. See you soon.